Hey, good evening, folks. Welcome to Wednesday. It is good to see you, and it is good to be seen by you. I, the person doing the seeing and the welcoming and so on, am, of course, your happy host, the Dungeon Delver. Yes, that Dungeon Delver, Bill Sylvie, and I'm glad you're all here, and I hope you're having a wonderful time. And if the winds of YouTube have blown you this way and you have not already done so, please do click the subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and tell all your friends about it, because we do awesome stuff here all the time. We have tons of fun, and it's a good way to come and to hang out. So, hey, Wave and Mutilation, Vaughn, Robert Phillips, let's see, who else we got out there? Robert Phillips, Wave and Mutilation, Vaughn, and some of you being very quiet and, dare I say, tremulous. But anyhow, no wacky hat tonight, because I've got to don my awesome AKG headphones here in just a few minutes when we welcome in our host for the evening, Christopher Sackle. Good evening to you, sir. Welcome. But this live stream, like many others, is brought to you by our friends at Hellebarde Games. Hellebarde makes the kind of adventures they'd like to play, whether it's for Castles and Crusades, 5th edition, or the OSR. Old School is in play at the table with Hellebarde Games, and you can find them at DriveThruRPG or on their website, hellebardegames.com. We do love us some Hellebarde Games around here. Local Gumby. I need an army helmet. I couldn't sit here and wear that 9-pound Kevlar sack on my head for the 2 hours that we play. So, that would be fun. Not. I just discovered a D&D channel on the TV. It's a mess. Interesting, very interesting. But anyhow, so what we do here is 5 nights a week, there's live streaming about classic tabletop role-playing games. Sometimes it's first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Sometimes it's original. Sometimes we have a guest, a luminary from that golden age of tabletop RPGs, which is still going on, by the way, just to let you know. If you're like, yes, once you could play Advanced Dungeons and Dragons or original or basic or whatever, you still can. You don't have to not play. Just all you need are friends, paper, pencil, dice, rules, and a little bit of imagination. So we stream about that. But on Wednesday night, for reasons that still elude me, I let Kyle run things, and Kyle is running an absolutely old school feel, very lightweight and snappy tabletop RPG. And it sounds like the timer has been set for the nuke, so I guess I better go disarm that for a moment. Meteor Key Press, good to see you. But Kyle runs things around here, and tonight we're going to play some of his game Conflict. So I'm hyped about that. I'm looking forward to that. We've got a good group ready to go here, and I'm glad you're all here to enjoy it, because Conflict is a good. If you dig Traveler, if you dig like OD&D filtered through chainmail for its combat system, you're gonna dig Conflict. So I am glad that you're all here to enjoy that. So anyway, but just to kind of catch everybody up, it's been a day. I'm a little stiff and sore right now because I was out this evening. I was putting up lights, decking those halls and so on. And well, you reach a certain age and bending over to put lights down 175 times tends to wear on the joints a little bit. So I'm sure Kyle would definitely have something to share about that. And then I came in to find out that the sausage that I had laid out this morning to make sausage and cheese balls to snack on tonight had been sitting out since this morning. You're supposed to let it come to room temperature, not come to room temperature and then sit for an additional 5 hours. So, little too botulism. Yep, that was a shame. RPG Grandma, hello. You guys better behave. RPG Grandma is in the house. Or misbehave. I don't know. It comes down to what she likes. But you know what? Speaking of misbehaving, you can't misbehave by yourself. Well, you can, but then you have to talk about it in confessional. So let's get some other people in here to misbehave with us this evening. First and foremost is my Antipodean counterpart, my man in Australia, the one, and as far as science is aware, only Viking Hat Game Master, Mr. Kyle Schuant. Kyle, how you doing?
Oh, yeah, I'm good. Wear and tear is not necessary on the body. It's not like our bodies aren't like the basic set dice that just wear down automatically over the years. Our bodies renew ourselves. So
Yes.
as long as you're physically active and you eat good food, then you'll last a long, long time.
Yeah, about
longer
this.
than we've got any right to respect. Longer than we've got any right to expect, given the silly things that we do to our bodies over the years.
Indeed, I'm a living example of a person looking at life and saying, "Hold my beer, I want to try something."
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I've got many paramedic friends, and one of them I said to, because I was feeling a bit gloomy one day about the people who came to the gym for a while and then stopped coming, and so, like, they never reached their potential, And he said, "You remind me of Oscar Schindler at the end of Schindler's List. Like, I could have saved more."
Yeah.
And, I said, "Well, how do you cope as a paramedic? Because obviously you don't save them all." And he said, "Well, the way I see it, if somebody comes before me, it's because of a series of very bad decisions they've made today, or a series of moderately bad decisions they've made over many decades. And I'm the last roll of the dice for them," he said.
Yikes.
And he's not even a gamer, and he still thinks in terms of rolling the dice. So,
it's so funny how often that terminology comes up. I mean, to completely change lanes. There's a YouTuber who I watch. His handle is Decino, and all he does is play Doom. Now, I know sitting and watching people play video games is like, it may seem kind of silly, but he analyzes how the game mechanics work in Doom. And because the source code for Doom is freely available, he will go into great discussion about why the game functions the way it does. And a lot of people think, hey, a game written in 1993, that's got no patch on how modern things work. Doom is insanely clever when you think that the average PC was a 386 rocking 4 megabytes of RAM, and they targeted that as a system that they wanted to make it run on. And so it's very tight, very efficient code. But I'm coming to the RPG moment now. He refers to damage you take in the game or damage you do to monsters as a roll. This many hit points and that big of a roll. So I asked him in his comments once, I said, "Are you a tabletop gamer by perchance?" And he's not. But it is just part of that lexicon of speech when he talks about the pseudo-random lookup table that the game uses to determine how much damage you take from the Cyber Demon's missile, or how much damage you take from walking on a floor of toxic goo as a damage roll, and the amount of damage you take as hit points. It is ingrained in our social lexicon, I think, of a certain stripe of people. And now, obviously, if you're talking to someone who maybe is a few years older than us, and they've been an investment banker since the early 1980s,
it's seeped out. It's seeped out because here in the gym, I've got a few people who are gamers, and over the years, obviously, I've talked to them about gaming, and non-gamers will, more often than not, know what we're talking about. Even terms like alignment. Because the other day I was talking, because we talk about how things have seeped into the general conversation, the general vocabulary of society. I was looking up, I was thinking about alignments, and I was trying to remember the alignment system in Recon, Palladium's old Recon game, it was like opportunistic, idealistic, something like that. Right. Anyway, Kevin Unpronounceable being Kevin Unpronounceable, of course, it's not just listed in an article somewhere that anyone can look at, but it was mentioned in passing in discussion. So I did a web search, and I came across it. I just looked at the text, and then I realized that I was looking at some sort of mailing list discussion group, and it said it was a Google group. And then I saw the date on it, and it was people arguing about D&D alignment versus Palladium alignment, and whether you needed alignment systems at all. And the post was dated 1992. So
I might have even been in that thread, Kyle. I started using Usenet back in 1989. I might have been in that thread.
So,
indeed,
30 years ago, people were arguing about alignment and whether or not you needed it. And that's documentary evidence of it, even if you don't have copies of old gaming magazines and things like that. They're arguing, and I know that they were arguing right from the start, but there's documentary evidence there on the internet too. So I think the fact that geeks have been arguing about this stuff for so long, it's just kind of oozed its way into society generally, spread like mold in a bathroom or something.
Yeah, I mean, there was that Terminator show, the Sarah Connor Chronicles. There's an episode of it that there's literally not a hint of fantasy gaming in it. There's not a mention of it. There's nothing. The episode is called Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
They don't like, in passing, this person is playing a computer game of D&D, and nothing like that. But it's funny you mentioned that. Somebody a number of years ago said, hey, what was the first ever mention of Dungeons and Dragons on the broader internet, on publicly accessible, not listservs, not private FTPs, but somebody found a discussion about Gygax leaving TSR and the publication of Unearthed Arcana back in 1986 on a Usenet news group. And it was gamers arguing with each other. To quote the poet, David Byrne, poet philosopher David Byrne, same as it ever was.
Yeah. Now, Volcano God in the comments has it's not exactly a gaming question. It's a fitness kind of question. He says he has a 335-pound nephew who does nothing but game all day and has been diagnosed with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And he's like 21 or something like that. What do I advise? I advise him to do what his doctor tells him to. There comes a threshold. If a person is above a certain BMI, like above BMI, so there's a body mass index. People argue about its utility and everything, but it's a reasonably good guide, nonetheless, for health. So like 18.5 to 25 is what people look at. That's a healthy body weight. 25 to 30 is considered overweight. 30 plus is, and each 5-point band is a class of obesity. If a person is in the overweight band, but they're physically active, quite often you'll find they're fine. They have no medical problems and they don't develop them later on. Like a lot of those Amish dudes are in the overweight category, but the women are doing 14,000 steps a day and the men are doing 18,000 steps a day, and they all eat fresh food that they've grown at home and all the rest, and they have strong communities, and they don't drink or smoke a lot. They do drink and smoke, but they don't drink or smoke a lot. They go ahead, get their vaccinations, all that sort of stuff. So they have a life expectancy, something like 72, 75 years old. But they had that back in the 19th century as well, when everyone else was dying horribly young of horrible diseases and stuff. So they do quite well, even though they're overweight, but they're active and they eat good food, so they're okay. So where it tends to become a concern, you'll see, is when it gets to be BMI 30 plus. So you're around 1.5, twice or more your healthy body weight, which it sounds like your nephew is, unless he's 7 foot tall. That's when people start developing health problems. They start to get non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So the liver has to process all the fats and all the rest, or alcohol or whatever. And when it gets overwhelmed with what it's trying to process, it doesn't work as well. It's like your toilet's blocked up, and that can cause long-term damage. So that's where doctors start getting worried. You also start getting things like type 2 diabetes and everything. And basically, the system is overwhelmed by what you keep putting into it. It can process a certain amount of stuff. More than that, it can't do. And it gets overwhelmed and things start breaking down. When a person is that big, they can't just start going for a run or something like that, because it's like, you just think, say, I don't know what the guy's height is, but say a healthy body weight for him is 180 pounds. That means he's carrying an extra 150 pounds. So if you take a 180 pound guy and you put 150 pounds in a backpack full of bricks or something and have him go for a run, would you expect that guy to develop like ankle, knee, hip, lower back problems or something like that? Well, yeah, he's going to develop problems because he's got too much. He's carrying too much. So just going for a light walk, a short light walk, is going to be a challenge for him. Like if you had an extra 150 pounds on your back and you went for a walk with it, you would be sweating pretty quickly. Just getting on and off the couch would be a workout for you. So you can see why they tend to get joint problems, and the food that they eat, it tends to create internal organ problems. So when a person is that big, it then steps outside my area. So I've got sort of like people up to BMI 35, but when it gets beyond that, it's either they have a medical problem now or they're going to develop a medical problem in the near future. And that's when I shunt them off to the doctor. Now, that doesn't mean they don't work out. It means that I coordinate with the doctor with what they do. And if they have a health problem, such as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease or type 2 diabetes or something like that, just eat what your doctor tells you to. The general person who's just a bit chubby and a bit sedentary, maybe their back hurts sometimes, that's no problem. Eat 3 cups of veggies a day, go for a 30 to 60 minute walk every day, lift some weights, get stronger, and your life will get better. That's not a problem. But the main thing I would say, if you get a guy who's sitting there on his computer all day, whether he's got gaming or whatever he's got going on his screen, he's doing that all day and eating all day, there's probably something else going on mentally. And that's what it tends to be with the really big guys. They either have something psychologically going on, which is what leads them to becoming that big, or they develop something psychological along the way, a lot of body image issues, and they start not going out as much and that sort of stuff. So when not many people who try to lose weight succeed in doing so, and the ones who do succeed tend not to. A trainer friend of mine, Andrew Reed, put up a post the other day mentioning how the average Biggest Loser contestant at the start of the show is 450 pounds or something, or 400 pounds or something like that. And then the average one at the end of the show is like 190 pounds. But then 6 years later, they're 290, 300 pounds. So they've gained most of their weight. That's because the Biggest Loser show is a very artificial situation where they are there and it's their full-time job to lose weight. They haven't changed their mindset, their approach to do things. They haven't changed their education. Whatever was psychologically going on hasn't been addressed. The ones who lose weight and keep it off tend to be the ones who have a whole team of people helping them. So they might have a trainer, yeah, but they have their general practitioner, their family physician. They have a dietitian helping them with diet and stuff. They might have an exercise physiologist, somebody who's specialized in dealing with the particular health issues they have. And they quite often have a psychologist as well, and the whole community. Because just think of it this way, imagine at Thanksgiving dinner, you were sitting there eating a chicken salad. It would be really tough to do. You don't want to be the only one doing that. So, but if the whole family's in there supporting the person, it's a lot better. It's a tough one. It's a really tough one. And I think that's enough. It's not a fitness podcast, so. But feel free to message me afterwards if you've got any more questions on the Discord.
Alrighty. So we've gone from helping people live to Kyle doing exactly the opposite to us. Let's get more targets on board, so I'm not the only one having stuff thrown at us. Let us welcome our group of ready players this evening and say hello to Jason.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Jason, thanks for your patience, brother.
Oh, no problem. I've been listening in, and I just want to weigh in on some of this stuff. I'm type 2 diabetic myself.
Yep.
And about a year ago, I had a heart attack while at work. So I'm dealing with a lot of stuff myself. So like I have a bunch of clogs in my arteries around my heart. So bad that I was not a candidate for surgery, because if they did a bypass, it would just be bypassing to somewhere else that's clogged. So I would like to exercise, but I'm at risk of another heart attack if I do. So
Yeah.
it's kind of catch-22.
Yeah.
But on a lighter note, the earlier conversation about like role-playing terminology seeping into the collective consciousness, I think it's because of the popularity of video games now, because the guys who created the video games were D&D players, because they were all the geeks and nerds.
Also very true.
As more technology seeps into general populace, that also kind of seeps in. I mean, look at any video game. You have levels. People talk about leveling up all the time.
Yes, but I wish we'd installed a flapper valve, because I don't like computer game terminology flowing back into tabletop.
Yeah, but leveling up is like what you did with your character before video games happened.
Right, but I'm seeing stuff like mob, aggro, DPS, mini boss, crap like that coming into the D&D lexicon, and I'm not crazy about it.
Yeah,
I'm not. But
the thing is, it's kind of going in reverse now. You have these people playing the fantasy video games, and now they're coming into the tabletop area, so they're using the language they're familiar with from the other game.
Anyway, grumpy old man yells at clouds. Speaking of someone who is not grumpy but also named Bill, Paint Mini is live. Bill T is joining us. You guys check out his channel on YouTube if you want to see some fantastic airbrush work going on live streams, short form videos. This guy is the man, and he's a favorite of ours. Bill, good to see you.
Hey, thanks for having me, everybody. It's great to see all of you again.
G'day.
Bring the headache pills.
Right, yeah, I still got those on my character somewhere. Yeah, the migraine pills.
The migraine pills.
And she's that gadabout from all over the place. Everybody, also welcome the one and only Sapphire as Sumawatra.
Evening.
Hello. So, Kyle, your plane.
Alrighty. nice. The intro. Now the what do I want not that, but to share the characters. Where are they? There we go. There we go. All right, so here are the characters. Go through them in turn and introduce yourselves for those who don't know and who may be interested. So Sumawara, first up, Safi, tell us about your character.
Yeah, I am a, I want to say boom boom specialist, but in the fun way.
I don't think there isn't a fun way.
And then a little bit of tech and such. So that's my stick. I do get into a little bit of physical alterations, but hey, it's part of the course.
Warren Brown, Bill Sylvie.
My character is a well-spoken, well-educated member of that unique brand of American who's privately contracted by her entirely munificent government to go to foreign countries and, given let and lack of hindrance, to do things to further the completely peaceful aims of said government. Applying the wholly humanitarian skill set that I acquired as an employee of the government in her armed forces.
Sullivan Stapleton, Jason.
Sullivan Stapleton is the resident speaker of Russian and Georgian, which comes in handy. He's a lover of wine, women, and song, and occasionally he's a half-decent soldier.
All right, we've got Stu Bennett, who's an NPC, and he is a thug who's been hit too many times in the head. But he's a solid, good soldier who knows how to punch people in the head. We've got McPherson, Bill T.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Daniel McPherson, number 25 in the group. I'm kind of the mad medic of the squad. I've got a screw loose, but that's okay. I lost my screwdriver a long time ago, and I just keep it in my pocket as a good luck charm now. I didn't make it to into the commandos, but because of a training injury, and now I follow the rest of these guys around trying to patch them up when they're full of holes.
Alrighty, Doomsword is absent today. He's got Lieutenant Rashan Stone, who's a firearms expert and he's nominally in charge of the group, though Warren Brown keeps usurping him. So we got 2 NPC'd out guys today. So there's altogether 6 on the team, and there's 1 permanent NPC and 1 just NPC for the day. Alrighty. Now we have at the close of the last episode, the team was heading out to the border with Kyrgyzstan. There's been the squad of Righteous Fury, the local insurgents, have been trying to acquire shoulder-launched surface-to-air missiles. They got some, and they seem to have been getting some from Russia, though made in North Korea. Sorry, in the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. And the crew believes that they're being smuggled through this little pass here. The Kurzel Art Pass. Being smuggled through there from Kyrgyzstan, which ultimately connects up to Russia, ultimately. And anyway, all the Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, and all that, they're all buddy with Russia and do what Mr. Putin tells them to. The local terrain is very high and mountainous. They're at about 4,500 meters from memory. Got the photos here.
What's that in freedom units?
About 15,000 feet.
Thanks.
There we go. 4,282 meters. It's about 15,000 feet. So it's enough that just standing around you might be wheezy unless you're quite fit. And once you start walking, it's as if you're sprinting at that kind of altitude. Now, the alrighty. So what's happened? So they've gone out there because they were told that about this time someone would be expected to come through with some gear. There's a
We got the name of the guy,
Russian
but I can't remember his name. We got it, but it's been a while.
Starts with a Z. Zarbek?
Yeah.
Zarbek. Right?
Zarbek.
Zarbek? Yeah.
Yeah, because that's actually a Chechen name. Where are we? It's actually, it's got a Chechen name because one of the squad of Righteous Fury guys they captured, who was looking after the surface to air missiles, was a Chechen. So it seems like some of these local insurgents are actually Chechens, and there might be some Russians directing them and supplying them with gear. Now, while they were lurking around this border post, so you guys were told that Tajik customs, at least in this area, was in the pocket of the insurgents. So you decided to roll up and just park yourselves in front of the place and wait. And while the team was waiting, they saw some guys. So if you just look just about northeast there, that little spot, they saw a bunch of guys, 4 guys come up with a big radio, and they set off a drone. They started a drone to go and down and have a look at the crew. Now, so at this point that I marked, the Sumawata jammed the drone so it couldn't do anything. And while she was doing that, a couple of the members of the friendly team went off to one side, have a look, and saw that there was another team of 4.
Those seeking quality and performance in a 22 caliber rifle.
What
Springfield
the
Armory is
Somebody is seeking quality and performance in their 22 firearm. That's for sure.
That was,
Did we just get sponsored?
no. I have no idea what that was. I was on Google Maps there trying to bring this up myself. So thanks, random person. Please continue, Kyle.
Okay. All right. So I'll just post the link through Bill's account there. Alrighty. Yeah. So, and there was another group to the northeast, group of 4, including one with a very long rifle, and they started firing on the party, and that's where the session ended.
If I remember correctly, that our Doc and Doomsword's character also split off from us up in the hills.
That's right. They're off to the right. Doc and
And-
Doomsword are off to the right, and then the others are lurking around. You've got there's 2 trucks. There's one truck that you guys came in, and a second truck that has 8 Dust Capital police as your backup. And they've got a sergeant who's in charge. He speaks some rather limited English. And so you came under fire. So first one round hit near your feet, and then half a second to 1 second later you heard it, and then another round struck Bill's character, Warren Brown, right in his plate carrier. Boom.
Ow.
Knocked him down.
That's gonna bruise.
Yeah.
I just have a quick question. Was it
Yep.
22 caliber that hit?
Because when you're looking for quality in a 22 caliber,
Oh, sorry, I'm done. I just had to, just one more. I'm sorry. I had to do it one more time.
no, that is entirely fine. What were you doing, Google? And for those of you who don't think that Google listens in, why would we have gotten a snippet of firearm ad before I shut that down?
Classic. No, 22 would have he would barely have needed armor for it, but no, that would have been a 308 or 7.62. You think?
Gotcha. Okay.
If it was an anti-material rifle like a 50 cal or something, there'd be a large hole you could put your fist through.
There would be a Lieutenant Brown shaped hole in space.
Mm-hmm.
Splat, yeah.
Yeah.
So 7.62. So he got knocked down, but he's not deceased. All right. So who's with what's his face? Who's with our man there?
I think me and Sumawara.
Okay.
Down there.
Well, one of you might want to drag him off to undercover.
Yeah, I'll be doing that. Come on, Lieutenant.
I'll cover him.
Shot me in the plate carrier.
All right, and so you can go to cover. This one instead. You can go to cover in those buildings there.
Yeah, we'll probably go to one of the nearest buildings.
Yeah. All right. So you were just standing just in front of this. This is facing north. Okay. So this is a little hut. It had one guy outside it and one guy inside it. After you had arrived, one guy went inside and got on the phone. There are other buildings. There's another building behind. You assume that other building is a barracks. You can see there's solar panels here as well. This is the view from. This is from the view from north. This is kind of. This here is the official office, so to speak, where they stamp passports and stuff. That just tells you the altitude. Okay, so that's the view looking. That's the view looking south. And this is a view looking north.
Okay. Where was the
Frankistan is that way to the north.
Okay, the shot came from the west, from where?
Up on the hill.
Up on the
up
hill.
on the hills. So when you're looking there,
so from the
shot
south.
came up from you're on the southern side here.
Okay.
So the shot came up from. You see, there's that line of mountains there.
Okay, so that's
the
from the
right.
Oh yeah, that's
So
from
if you look, so reference the guard hut,
Okay.
and then this generator building. Between those, right, and on the rise in between.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to pull them
So
to
the
the
shot came
other.
from those solar panels. If you look to the far left on the solar panels, that's where the team with the drone are.
Okay.
So you guys can immediately drop. So yeah, if you can go behind the generator here, or you can go behind the guard hut. The guard hut's just made of regular brick or whatever, so 7.62 will be stopped by it. A 50 cal or 14.7 or something like that wouldn't stop
Yeah.
it. It would an RPG. You've got Earth here that will stop fire from the left, but of course it won't stop fire from the right.
Right. Yeek.
So where are you guys going to go? You don't all have to go to the same place either. No.
I'm wondering what the guards inside the barracks are doing.
Well,
Because
you're
whose
gonna
side
take
are they on?
so you're going to take the combat round to observe. In other words,
Yeah.
because normally when you come under fire, you're just like this tunnel vision. You just focus directly on what's in front of you. If you want to take a
Yeah,
moment
I
to
think
see
I'm
what everyone
metagaming.
else is doing,
I might
you
be
can go-
metagaming a little bit. Yeah. I
No,
think we'll just-
metagaming is fine. So normally I believe in being fairly liberal about it. Like when I play D&D, or when I run D&D, I kind of let the players talk to each other a lot about what they're doing, because the way I see it, number one, their characters, that they're a fighter or whatever, they got extra hit points. That means their characters know what they're doing,
Yeah.
and we can best. And as well, they're there on the ground. It's very different having it described to you to actually being there. Imagine just verbally describing your bedroom or something to somebody and then having them do a perfect drawing of it is difficult. So we can best abstract this by having a lot of conversation.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna drag them to like the far side of the generator hut.
Yep.
Like just farthest from both sides of the.
Yep.
And bring them back there to get them out of harm's way before somebody bruises them again.
Yep. Dragging back. Okay. And Samora, you just sitting there playing with your radio, or?
Sunwara.
Hello, Savvy.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm looking around, covering. Kind of
Okay.
be an Overwatch, I guess.
Okay. So, yep, that would put you relatively in the open, because you guys were just, so reference the hut here, guard hut here. You guys were just on the road next to the vehicle. So the vehicles are behind you in this particular image. Or if you were looking from the north, they wouldn't be visible. But yeah, vehicles are behind you in this image. So you can duck behind an engine block or something if you want, and that'll protect you from the fire on the right, but it won't protect you from any fire on the left if it comes. Okay? All clear?
Yeah.
All right, radio. Okay,
Understood.
roll for initiative. So you roll, you add readiness of whoever's in charge.
That is myself, and I'm readiness 2.
All righty. Roll 1d6 and add 2. The 8 DKP police are just hiding behind their vehicle at this stage. They've heard fire and they're going, ah! And they're ducking behind the vehicle.
So that is
Including some who are ducking behind the bed of the truck, which will protect them, not at all, but they don't know that. Well, they're not thinking of it right now.
that is a total of 6, Kyle.
6. And my guy's got 7. So my guys go first. All right. So who's visible out there? All right. So you're dragging the wounded guy. All
Yep.
right. The one dragging the wounded guy. All right. You would you think you might hear just a distant curse on the wind. Someone tries to fire at you, but gets a stoppage.
I'll take that.
Yeah, we'll definitely take that.
And you're fortunate because that was the sniper too. He's the one with the best chance of hitting.
Whew.
Well, I mean, he's set up. You know, he's got a spotter and he's got a bipod, and he's a good shot and all the rest. The others are just doing more kind of wild firing.
See, I'm helping out my fellow man. It's karma.
That wouldn't have happened if you'd had a Barrett, you son of a bitch. Thinking to myself, and if it had been a Barrett, he wouldn't have needed a second shot.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So you're coming under a lot of fire now. So there's the 4-man team with the sniper. Okay, so there's one sniper and one spotter there, and then there's 2 just regular riflemen with them, as far as you can tell. Though one, when you look through your scope, you see that one's got an RPG launcher across his back, but it's not. He doesn't have it out. He just has it across his back. He's carrying a rifle as well. Excuse me. Over on the left-hand side, so the northwest, you've got the drone team, and 2 of them are still fiddling around trying to make the drone work because the interference is still going from Simulwada's jamming gear. And there's another 2 who are just pouring fire down on you. So altogether, you've got 4 rifles. So that's another stoppage. Another stoppage. That'll be a hit. And that'll be a miss. All right, so these being insurgents, the stoppage is most likely just going burning through a whole magazine in one round. And one of you will get hit. So it's the guy dragging, the guy being dragged, or Simulwada. Simulwada. Right. So now
I do have a jacket on, so hopefully it'll help.
Yep. Okay. So she gets hit in the 2 in the head.
Oof.
Yep. She's got a helmet as well. Unfortunately, that'll still be a mortal wound. Boom. So Simulwada drops like a sack of potatoes. Okay.
What?
Now you guys' turn.
As soon as I get,
And there's rounds pinging around you, dust being kicked up. And it's a bit disconcerting because like the dust gets kicked up and then you hear the sound of the rounds half a second to 1 second later.
okay, as soon as I get Brown behind the generator shed, apparently I'm the only one else here, so I'm gonna have to go out and try to get Simulwada.
Yeah. Well, Brown, he'll be able to act next round. He just lost an action, because he was knocked down, so he has to get himself back up.
Yeah,
he
so
gets knocked down, but he gets up again.
All right, so I'm like doing the crouching run.
Someone's singing.
Trying to do the crouching run over to Simulwada to try to drag her back now.
Okay, that'll be your next. That'll be your next round. Okay, so
Do I do me?
Bill
and...
T, what do you and your buddy do? You see the sniper working his rifle, trying to clear the stoppage. And
we can
just
see him.
looking through
We've spotted him already.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you've spotted
All
him
right.
now. Yeah,
All right.
and you could see the 2 buddies. They're just blazing through with their magazines. They don't seem to be firing in a terribly disciplined fashion.
As much as I really want to help Simulwada, I think I'm going to take care of that guy first and then go help her. Because otherwise it's just going to keep eating away at us. So I think I'm gonna spot for Stone. Do I got like a little kestrel or something? Anything to judge like windage, humidity, anything like that?
No, that's just you don't have sniper gear with you, so you don't.
I'm gonna take some sand in my hand, pour it out on the ground.
Yeah, that's just we just abstracted into your firearm skill.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we're just gonna try and judge some windage for him and
Otherwise,
whatnot.
and the spotter could just be someone with the exact same rifle as you, looking through their scope, and that person judges the windage and all that for you. So you
Sure.
just have to focus on that. They're just assisting you. It's in terms of game mechanics, it works the same as somebody helping you push a car or something.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, I think I'm gonna help him try and take the shot.
Okay, so this guy is between 100 and 200 meters away. So you get a DM of -5. All right, you have familiarity with your weapon, so that's a +1. You've got a spotter assisting, that's another +1, so +2. You're lying prone, I assume. So
Yeah, we were set up earlier.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. So it's a long arm supported because you're just lying there prone, supporting it, rather than doing a standing shot. So 4. You've got a scope on it, so that's 5. You've got good visibility, and that, so 5. So +5, -5. Okay. So just roll 2d6 and get 10 plus.
Okay. Got an 11 on the roll, so 21.
Awesome. So, yep. And so the damage. So
and then if you could refresh me on that, is that just 2d6 again?
So 2d6, and you read it like left to right.
Okay.
So like 1, 2 is read as
so
not as
2,
3, but 1,
2 and 5.
2 and 5. Okay, so that's a minor torso wound, minor trunk wound.
All right.
Okay, so you hit him. So you hit boom on the trunk.
Yeah.
You don't think you've killed him, but he's stopped working his rifle at the moment, because when you get
You
hit,
had his attention.
you lose your action for that round when you've been shot. Okay, so that's you and Russian Stone. You've done that action. All right, next round, initiative.
We just round robining the dice, or
7.
oh, gotcha.
7. Okay, you guys go first this time. Okay, so Sullivan, you get up and you run over to Simawata.
Yep, I'm gonna start dragging her back to the same spot out of the line of fire.
Kyle,
Alrighty.
two questions.
Wait, one. So you will be under fire. So you'll just have one action this round instead of your normal 2, right? Because you lose 1 readiness when you're under either 3 people doing single shot fire or someone doing auto fire.
Yep.
So that will apply. So that means that because you're just sort of going, oh, crap, and trying not to get shot, it slows you down. So you'll be able to grab her this round and then pull her back in the next round. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Whereas if nobody was shooting at you, you could just go boom, boom, straight like that. Yes, Bill.
Okay. 2 questions, and I think one is kind of incumbent on the other. And you'll have to forgive me, Sensei, for not being this deep in on it. Suppressing fire, is that a thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Suppressing fire is a thing. That's exactly what Sullivan is suffering. So when he, so even if you've got 0 chance of hitting somebody, assuming they're not just 2 kilometers away or whatever, but even if you've got 0 chance of hitting somebody, if a person comes from single shot fire by 3 or more separate weapons, or automatic fire from even 1 weapon, they are suppressed. That means they lose a point of readiness. That means somebody who's only got 1 readiness can't act at all.
Okay. So with my
readiness can be boosted with a leadership check. Now, while he's taking the shot, it occurs to the guy with the leadership skill, that is Bill T's character. It occurs to him, these Dust Capital police probably need somebody to lead them. They probably only have readiness 0 or 1, so they probably need someone to lead them, because when you do a leadership roll, you can make the song "Come on, lads," and that boosts their readiness for the duration of that combat. Unless they see the leader fall down, then they lose interest in proceedings. So,
here's a question. Can you actually lead them if you don't speak the same language?
yes.
Okay.
You just can't give them very complex instructions. But anyone can encourage anyone. It's a pretty universal thing when you stand up and wave your rifle in the air. Follow me.
Okay.
When I see him dragging her in from where I'm at, can I suppress?
Yeah.
All right. So I will lay down some covering fire while he's bringing her back in this round.
Okay. You have to do auto fire if you want to suppress.
Okay.
By yourself. So you can suppress the guys on the left.
Then I shall do that.
Yeah. Just remember that. So the thing with the auto fire is it adds to your stoppage check. So your weapon is in new condition because you know how to use it. So normally stoppage is 3. You'll be firing auto, so stoppage will be 4. So if you get a raw roll of 4, then or less, then you'll get a stoppage.
All right. So I have basically readiness 2, so I can basically suppress twice, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. First one is a 6. Second one is also a 6. Exactly.
Yeah. So you won't hit anyone with that, but you fire close enough that you make them keep their heads down, so they'll be suppressed. Okay, so Sumawada is lying there bleeding, unless she makes a roll to kind of shake it off. Okay, and
Is that 2d6?
Yeah, so 2d6 plus your health.
Okay.
And your health is 2. So
2. Yep.
health. So you need 12 plus.
All right. Yeah. That's a 7.
Okay. Yeah, if you get 12 plus, you just ignore it. I mean, it's still a mortal wound, but no. Okay. And the clock is ticking for Sumawada because untreated, the mortal wound is going to kill her in 2d6 plus her health minutes. But yeah, so at the moment she's lying there unconscious. Okay.
Oof. Yeah.
So they get a shot back. Now the guys with the drone up on the hill are suppressed, so they're not doing anything. The sniper, he was wounded. He's now getting himself back together. He's trying to work the stoppage, you can see. And the spotter is still looking down at Bill T's guy, Bill T and Ration Stone. He's still looking down at you guys. But he's not firing himself. But he is shouting something at his mates. One of the guys is clearing a stoppage. His weapon, he's changing magazines. And the other one, he looks at his AK that has run out of rounds. He chucks it aside and he's pulling his RPG off his shoulder. Next round. Initiative.
All right, let's see. How about an 8?
You guys go first.
Do I have a line of sight to Mr. RPG?
You'll have to crawl around to the other side of the generator.
Well, shit.
Or you could just trust Bill T and Ration Stone to take care of that.
All right. Is Is Sullivan back to me with Sumawara?
No, he's coming back this round. So
Yeah,
Sullivan is out there
Then I am continuing
on the
to
road. Is out there on the road with a bleeding Sumawara. She's her head lolling around.
Okay. I got a total of 8 on the first suppress and a 9 on the second suppress.
Awesome. All right, so you're blazing away. That keeps their head down.
Okay,
The guys on the
so
left, the drone guys.
that means I get to run back with her.
Yep, and you'll still have one other action because
It's a Hail Mary because I only have first aid and we need a 12 or more. So I would need to roll an 11. Then let's see if I can stabilize her.
Well, it will take time, but yeah.
Tell
Nope.
me you snake eyes that and just kill her.
No,
Now,
it's a total of 10.
What we do is
Oh, so close.
So close.
Yeah.
Get so far away.
So first roll 2d6 to see how many, because you can't just do it in 1 minute,
Okay.
right? It takes some minutes for you to try to stabilize her.
All right.
So first roll 2d6, subtracting your physician familiarity or expertise, if any.
Yep. I had first aid.
Yeah. So 2d6 minus that. What'd you get?
2d6 minus?
Yeah, physician skill. So someone with the physician skill is quicker. This is seeing how long you take.
Oh, okay. So I rolled a 9 minus 1 would be 8.
8. Okay. So you can spend the next 8 combat rounds, so the next 8 minutes doing that. You can stop at any time, of course. You only roll to see if it worked or not at the end of all that, of that 8 minutes.
Okay. It's going to take that long. I would probably wait for Bill T to get his character to get down here because by that time we'll all be shot. So
yeah, this is why in the real world you tend to leave the wounded till later, unless you've got quite a large unit and you have a dedicated medic who runs around.
Well, I
that
just
guy
then,
at Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah. I just make sure she's by the generator and out of harm's way, and then I'm gonna attempt to make a shot. Take a pot shot at somebody.
First goal of first aid is to prevent deterioration of the injury.
Yeah.
So you stop them getting worse. If you drag them out of range of fire, then that's good.
Yeah, dragging them out of range of fire.
She doesn't need another couple of mortal wounds.
Okay, no, that would not be a good idea. So, all right, I guess I'm going to try to shoot at one of the stoppage guys before they can get their stuff.
You still
fixed.
have 8, count them, 8 unused Dust Patrol police, all of whom have body armor and firearms. And they're just sitting behind their vehicles waiting because nobody is telling them what to do. And they're under fire.
Like,
well, you can't do it this round, Sullivan, but somebody else can try to give them an instruction.
Why are those guys here again?
Well, Colonel Shah had told you they're there for your backup. You tell them what to do. He didn't send you guys with initiative. You're the guys with initiative. You're the ones who get things done. If the Dust Patrol police were ones who could get things done, they wouldn't need to pay you.
Right.
That's a very good point.
Right? These guys are the men at arms. You're the adventurers.
Say Kyle,
Yes.
how many smoke grenades would a standard soldier carry? I'm guessing 2, 3.
You guys were carrying 2. You each
2.
carried 2 flashbangs, 2 smokes, 2 frag grenades.
Gotcha. And then mechanically, can you throw more than one smoke at a time?
1 for each action. So if you've got readiness 2, you can fire. You can chuck 2.
All right. I think I'm gonna Let's see. Yeah, Stone's got readiness 1 as well. Yeah, I'm
will
gonna
not
ask
be able to-
Stone if we
You
can.
will not, you could throw smoke, yeah. But I was
Yeah,
gonna say, you won't
we're
be able to
gonna.
throw frag grenades 120 meters.
No. That's pretty far throw. But I'm thinking if we throw some smoke, it'll at least roll down the hill when it's getting going, right?
Mhm.
So I'm thinking we're gonna try and smoke them out to get down the hill to them. And
The smoke will have dissipated by the time it reaches where they are. They're 150 to 200 meters away from you and up the hill.
And
There's
then
no way that they won't even smell the smoke.
Is the sniper uphill from us then?
He is, yeah.
Okay, all right.
That's what they do.
So then, yeah,
you can just drop smoke on yourselves or immediately in front of you to obscure the view.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just drop a couple smokes at our position and start running downhill.
Yeah,
they need more bodies down there, I think, than us just taking pot shots up here.
Don't say bodies. Don't give that man any.
Right. Well, I mean,
People.
they need more
People.
rifles on the line. There you go. That's more heroic, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
And Safi, feel free to speak up. Like I said, I'm a big believer that the tactical knowledge that your characters will have is best abstracted by the players chipping in. Even if your character is wounded or deceased or whatever, that you go ahead, you speak
Oh
up.
God, just okay.
She doesn't have to leave the bunker.
No, I don't believe in
It's a
having this
hive
player just sit
mind.
there
It's a
silently
hive
the whole
mind.
time. If you want to sit there silently the whole time, that's all right, but you don't have to.
The Gestalt battle consciousness.
Okay.
Exactly.
She's in character. She's just in character. She's not saying anything.
Well, if she's in character, she should be going.
She's method acting.
If I'm unconscious, am I really making grunty noises? Really?
Yes. Or
Here's
having
my
to-
question:
Okay.
What are you dreaming about, Sumawada? Now that you're unconscious on the ground.
Oh, I'm
What you-
reliving kicking the crap out of that guy's face and blowing stuff up again.
There you go.
That was my last happy moment recently.
Wow.
Someone else would remember long walks on the beach with a loved one or playing with their children in the rain or something, but no, Sumawada remembers blowing a guy up and kicking another one in the face.
She's dreaming of riding a unicorn, but the horn is really a mortar, and it's just firing.
Now, let me just
And you
write
don't
you
want to know what that unicorn is farting.
Nope. Napalm.
here's a number for a real good therapist. There you go.
All right. Okay, so Bill T chucks out smoke in front of his side. You got to chuck it out in the road to try to protect the guys protect from the guys on the left as well.
Stone's gonna throw his towards that direction too. We're just trying to cover our retreat.
All right. So make a throw and just don't get a stoppage, basically, because even if you're like a few meters out, it doesn't matter.
All right. Well, 6 and a 2, 8. Make it.
Smoke isn't a
Awesome.
completely accurate thing.
Luckily for me.
And a second roll.
Oh, right, for Stone.
Yep.
Pardon me. That's gonna be 5.
Alrighty. Yep. So it's just not a stoppage, so that's good. It doesn't just go clink. Oh, it didn't go off. Alrighty. Or drop at your feet or anything embarrassing like that, as happened to that poor insurgent in the opening session.
Return to sender.
I don't feel so bad about that.
I don't.
All Alrighty. So, so the smoke goes up, obscuring the view. All right, fire continues coming in your general direction, but it has essentially no chance of hitting you because they'd just be firing blind at -4. But, they might see a bit of motion in the smoke or whatever, but it's not gonna hit. They're just wasting their ammo.
Gotcha. All right.
It'll still count for the purposes of suppressing you if they're firing auto and stuff, because the round that hits you by mistake hurts just as much as the one that hits you on purpose. But it's got 0 chance of hitting you. Okay, so what are you guys doing under the cover of the smoke? The smoke's going to last for 1d6 rounds.
We're retreating back towards the road.
Yep.
To get back to our friends.
Yep.
I'm assuming we were you said it was 150 meters, right? That's a pretty hard sprint, I guess, at this altitude. Does that only use one action as well?
No, the vehicles are not 150 meters from the checkpoint. The vehicles are immediately in front of the checkpoint.
Oh, okay. All right.
Immediately. So in that picture there,
I start muttering, "Medic, medic!"
In that picture there, you could literally be leaning against the engine of the front vehicle to take that picture that's there.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
They're not far at all. It's just that the people shooting at you are 150, 200 meters away.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought we were further away from the group than that.
From each other. There's
Yeah.
two of you from each other, about 50 meters, something like that.
Sure. So yeah, I'd like to go and see if I can't go render aid to the group that now has 2 casualties.
Yep. All right. So you go running up towards the generator, and as you and Stone are running along towards the generator, you hear a whoosh.
Oh no.
And RPG goes whooshing across the front, and it smacks right into the front of the front vehicle, and boom, the cabin of the vehicle goes right up, and the vehicle jumps up, but it doesn't quite fall over.
Oof.
But you still got the rear vehicle.
Right.
Okay.
Little bits of shrapnel go flying out, but nobody gets hit.
Okay.
Great.
Worst comes to worst, hopefully you can make a stretcher that you can drag me behind on the walk.
There you go.
Yeah.
Worst.
Well, there's still another vehicle. There's still another vehicle. It's just it will be shared between you and.
That's why I said worst case.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are
All right.
home wanting to buy this game, character generation is quick.
Yes.
That's a good point.
Alrighty. The
That's a
Dust
selling
Capital
point right there.
Police. The Dust Capital Police, after having come under some fire, as far as they're concerned, they're being fired directly at, even if it's you guys that are actually getting shot at. Having come under fire and having seen the vehicle in front of them get blown up by an RPG, the Dust Capital Police have suddenly recalled an urgent appointment elsewhere, and they're piling into their vehicle.
Brave Sir Robin!
And trying to get it. Well, nobody's been telling them what to do. There's no leadership, so.
Was literally my next action. I figured twice.
But they're taking a bit to get the vehicle started because it's high altitude and all that. You hear and lots of cursing in Tajik.
Okay.
There's about to be a lot of cursing in English.
Yeah, I will yell over the engine and the sound of gunfire and everything else. No, you sons of bitches, they'll RPG you next. Suppress them. Hopefully they can put up.
The sergeant will hear you. Okay, make a presence leadership check. You don't have that familiarity, so you just need to roll 10 plus.
All right.
Because anyone can yell and tell people what to do. It's just a matter of whether or
Getting
not
them to
anyone else is
listen.
going to listen. Yeah.
Is lucky night gutting 10.
What was the roll there, Bill?
It's my lucky night. I got a 10.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you go.
okay, good.
Nice.
All right, so the sergeant, he's saying something in Tajik, but you get the impression he's saying, right, you and you keep trying to start the vehicle, and then the rest of you come with me. So 2 guys stay in the vehicle, and
Nice.
the sergeant and 5 others come forward with their weapons. And they're walking forward, or they're running forward. They've got their weapons to the shoulders, and they're just going dagga, 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 that, doing long auto bursts past you guys.
I would
Thankfully.
hope so. I would hope so.
Blat, blat, blat. Oh, one of them actually hit someone.
Hey,
Hey. For a second there, I couldn't tell if that was a good or a bad. Oh,
I was just waiting to hear stoppage, stoppage, stoppage.
None of them
right.
got
Yeah,
stoppages.
exactly.
I can't believe it. None of them got stoppages. But one of them has hit one of the guys.
Stoppage is better than
with it.
weepage.
One of the drone guys has been hit. To my surprise. Oh well, 6 guys fired at him. One of them was bound to hit, I guess. All auto. All right, next round. Is everyone retreating to the truck or what?
Muttering medic.
Yeah, I think
So you can do medic treatment on the truck.
I think we're going to have
out here in
to.
the open under the fire. Up to you.
Yeah, I don't know if the doc's there or not, so I'm just gonna try to pick up like Sumerwada and like get her to the back of the truck.
Okay.
I will move along with him. If it's possible to like kind of do a half backing up step and suppressing as I go. I'm not sure really how I can combine those, Kyle. And if it won't work, it's fine.
What are you trying to combine? What are you trying to?
Basically, as he's carrying Sumawada towards the truck, I'm moving with them, suppressing.
Yeah, you can do that. You can walk backwards and fire. Okay. So Sullivan, you can basically sling her over your shoulder and move fast, but not be able to do anything else. Or you can just drag her by her webbing while you go backwards, and you can fire at them at the same time.
Considering
You know what I mean?
I don't know when these guys
the
are
second one is slower, but you get to shoot at them. So
Yeah, I might be able to shoot at them, but I think these guys might start the car by that time. And I don't know if they're gonna like stay there for us. I think speed is of the essence, so I'm just gonna just grab her and book it to get to the car or the truck.
yeah.
Because I don't trust them.
I think I'm gonna try and meet. I'm gonna meet Sullivan at the truck.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm just gonna.
It's a good weight.
I'm gonna say, Sullivan, should I go with her? Should we scram out of here, or we got to make a plan?
Well, I think the first thing is make sure she don't die.
Right.
Whether or not the car's moving or not, just make sure she don't die.
Let's at least load her in the truck for now, and I'll go tend to her. But we should make a plan on what we're doing. See if you can raise.
Don't forget our other downed.
Yeah. Alrighty. So
who else is down?
Nobody else is down.
Nobody else is down. Brown got hit with a bruise. He's back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nobody else is down yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm suppressing as I go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll hop in the truck and I'll start trying to stop the death process here.
Okay. So let's roll for how long you've got. Okay. What's your physician? You're full on physician, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, fallen position. Okay, yeah. All right, so you can assess her instantly. All right, you take one minute, pretty much instantly. So at the end of this combat round, you'll be able to do your first aid treatment. So she'll either live or die next round.
Okay. Gotcha. Well,
pressure.
fingers crossed. Right? Yeah.
Okay, so the guys are still firing at you through the smoke inside the guard hut. You can hear some shooting, and you can hear Stu Bennett shouting profanities as he butchers them horribly inside the guard hut.
Oh no!
The guards?
Beating them.
Go,
Yeah,
Stu,
the guards.
go!
The guards, the Tajik customs officers.
There's an IHOP written anywhere on that building, is there? Just out of curiosity.
He's beating them to death, butchering them horribly. You could just hear it. You can't see it because of all the smoke, but you can hear it.
I think you meant Waffle House.
Oh yeah, Waffle House. Right. IHOP was a
Hash
bit
browns
more of
are
a classy
soggy either
establishment.
way. I mean, that's just horrible.
And while he's doing that, there emerges from the hut a fragmentation grenade
Oh,
that comes towards you, Warren Brown, and it just misses. So it goes goes short by 6 meters. Whew. Goes off. And category 1. Oh, 1 wounding throw against
Clench!
everyone within 6 meters. So it's just outside. Boom! And these little fragments basically come along and they just fall to the ground just in front of you.
wow.
Must be all this clean living I'm doing.
Your lucky day.
I picked a hell of a
Yeah,
day to
so
stop.
it's a good thing, Sullivan, that you decided just to run back with her, because if you were side by side with Brown, you might have copped some of that too.
Yeah.
Or Simulwater might have copped that as well.
Again, helping people is good karma.
It is, especially helping them quickly.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay, so you guys run back to the vehicle. You haul Simulwater into the truck. There's these rounds pinging around you. The smoke is starting to disperse. You all pile into the vehicle, including all the Das Kapital police. One of the Das Kapital police goes
So
down.
in other words, we're hauling some ass.
Yes.
One of the Das Kapital police goes down.
Wait, did he get hit as he got in the
Yep.
ride? Or, okay.
He's still in the ride.
He gets hit a few
Okay.
meters. No, he gets hit a few meters away from the vehicle.
I
one of
will.
his, Yep.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
one of his mates is running towards him, but you'll have to wait another round to get him.
Okay. I will cover him. I will suppress.
Okay.
I'll suppress along with him. I've done enough running for people. I'll shoot some now.
Okay. Make a roll. You get a single roll each. Honey.
Oh, all of you get to fire, but me, no.
Okay.
You got sniped in the head at the start of the combat. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
My luck ran out. I did get a stoppage. Probably just.
Well, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got a 7, so I basically just sprayed in their general area and not hit anything.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all right. That suppresses them.
Spray and pray.
Help! They're being suppressed.
All right.
Who knows, Simulwater, depending on where this round hit you in the head, you might end up with some really cool savantism afterwards.
So
I don't know. We might have to roll for it.
Bill, I assume you were firing towards the guys on the left, and Sullivan was firing towards the guys on the right. Yeah.
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 Okay. So the guys on the left are still firing, therefore, and one of them gets a hit on one or the other of you, or the downed guy. Sullivan, you get a minor wound on the right leg. You get shot in the knee, and you fall down.
I took an arrow to the knee.
Hey, that's my line. It's on my character sheet, man.
I yell at Sullivan, "Stop getting shot. That's an order."
You did it
He
first.
falls down. You be able to get up and stagger off slowly in the next round.
Stagger, crawl.
What are you, leading by example, Brown?
Alrighty, so the Das Kapital police guy drags his mate off. He drops his rifle and he picks his mate up and flings him over his shoulder, and then runs to the back of the vehicle and chucks him on, leaving his rifle down there on the ground.
It's an AK-74. It's like 23 local dollars. I'll buy him another. I'm in good with Colonel. I brought him a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue. So don't worry. Don't worry. I'll cover you on this one for your battle rifle, my friend.
Where is
Alrighty.
Stu?
Where is Stu?
Yeah.
Stu emerges from the smoke, covered in blood.
Oh my god.
None of it his, I assume.
Blooded, and
He's my hero.
starts doing a light jog towards the truck.
Stu, where did your gun go?
And he stops and he looks at the burning truck, and he decides not to get on that one, and then he jogs off towards the next one.
A wise decision, sir.
If I could, I would chant Stu, 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 Stu. He's our man. If he can't do it, no one can.
All right. Can I treat Sumawada now?
Yes, you can.
All right.
So who's driving the truck?
Well, I thought two of the guys
You're
were
going
trying
to
to
let
start.
Yeah. It's got it started, but I mean, one of you can shoulder the guy aside if you're really keen to do the driving.
Well,
Land
somebody else
craft.
should do it. Somebody else should do it because I'm not going to hit money in the pedals with my busted right knee.
I'll drive. Jeez.
I really should have been down there.
Well, you got
for
left off motorbike, so you just be going on the normal roll. It's just a matter of the roll is just to see how fast you can get yourself out of there. That's all. You don't need to roll just to drive. It's just a matter of how fast. How much can you get out of the engine and all that?
I really should have been down there. I've got leadership and I can drive a truck and I'm a physician. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, everyone.
It's all a learning experience. You either
Right.
learn or you die. So
No pressure.
You can only be at one place at one time. And you're needed right now in the back.
yeah, Samawada thinks you're in exactly the right place.
Yeah, let's send the medic away as far as possible. That's a great idea.
All right. So you need a roll from me, Kyle, to get us rolling.
Yep.
I got a 6 total.
6 total. Okay, so yeah, you're a bit unfamiliar with this. You're used to riding motorbikes, so you back it up and it gets stuck in some gravel on that. The rounds are still coming at the vehicle, going ping, ping, ping. Unless I roll a 12, nobody's going to get hit though, and it's only small arms fire, so it's not going to damage the engine or anything like that. No, nobody gets hit. There's a few holes get put in the canvas, the back of the truck. There's the odd broken mirror or whatever, but yeah, There's no
You can
serious
circle them with yellow pen later.
Alrighty. Make your first aid roll.
I got a 7. I got a total of 7.
A total of 7. So you
Yes.
roll 2d6, add 3.
Oh, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got a 10.
Perfect.
Nice.
Oh, no, hang on. So you need first aid 12 plus.
Oh,
First aid 12 plus. Yeah.
does the oh yeah, that only make it 11
And the
for the
gear,
squad med kit.
Can one of us assist?
the squad med kit was. Yeah. One
Already
of
in
you can
there?
assist. The squad,
mean-
squad med kit. All right. So let's look at the gear table. So the squad, so the field kit, so that's a +2. Okay. So you've got your expertise, that's +5. So expertise +3. The field kit +2 makes it +5. Okay. Yes, somebody else can assist. You make your roll. Make your roll. If you get 10 plus, then that provides a bonus to him.
Okay. And I have first aid, so that's 1. So I need a 9 or more, and I rolled a 10, so that's a total of 11.
Okay, so he gets +1. So that becomes a +6. So what was your raw roll, Bill T?
It was 7.
7. So +6, 13. You save her. Just
Very nice.
you plug the hole in the leaking hole in the side of her head and stop the brains coming out.
That's always good.
Yay!
Yeah, she might actually use those one of these days.
Alrighty, now roll. So Sumawati, you can roll 2d6 minus your health for how many weeks before you recover from this mortal wound. So it's 2d6 minus 2. Minimum 1 week. Safi, you got your 2d6?
Hello, Safi.
Hello?
I think she might have stepped out for just a minute.
Oh, no.
Sorry. No. I'm here.
Yeah, 2d6.
Okay.
Yep. We're seeing how long it's going to take you to recover.
I rolled 2 6s.
Okay, so that'll be 10 weeks.
Ooh.
Oh, crepes.
Wow.
Not good.
Because that took out a large chunk of skull and some brain and everything. So, yep, 10 weeks to recover from that.
Bummer.
That's why we have other members of the team because who can step up for you.
Yep.
Alrighty. So you drive on back to Duska Patal for the debrief.
I'm gonna try and patch up the wounded Dust Capital policeman, and then I'll give Stu a bandage for his hand, his knuckles, after checking him out.
And a knee.
And screw my knee.
And
Sullivan.
what,
Okay.
what happened to
Yeah,
your knee?
kneecapped.
You have another
Sullivan.
one? It's fine.
Okay.
Oh, here's a splint.
He just needs a first aid 8 plus.
Take a
Okay,
migraine.
all
day.
right.
So you've got +5. So just don't, get a critical failure. You don't get 2 or 3.
I got 4, luckily.
4. Okay. Yeah. His knee was as difficult to deal with as the head injury, but less serious. That'll be healed in 2d6 minus health days. So roll 2d6 and subtract your health. Sullivan.
Hope you don't roll a 12 again.
Stapleton, did you do a lot of tile work a while ago? Because these knees are atrocious.
We might have to take a couple weeks off at this rate.
You got health 3, so that's
I have health 3. I rolled a 9, so 6.
6. So in 6 days, the minor wound will be nothing. You'll walk it off. In other words,
Oh,
the next game
days,
session.
not weeks. Oh, not feeling the love
by the
here.
next game session. All right. And Bill S., your character, he's got a minor trunk wound. Let's see how long it's going to take for that to get. Well, let's see if it gets treated. What's the try the treatment? So 8+.
Right.
Bill T.
I got 9. Yeah, I got 9.
Good. Yep. He's a believer in doing the exact minimum necessary.
It's homeopathic medicine.
Okay.
Yeah,
use
let's
it.
not use the antibiotics. Let's use green tea.
Where the hell did you get a mustard plaster out here? You know what? Don't answer that.
Okay. And
Same
you're gonna
place I got the migraine pills from.
Oh, Christ on a crutch.
I'm not that
I
good.
love them. They're great.
Lauren Brown has got health too, so 2d6 minus his health days. That minor wound's gonna be-
She's on a cracker.
What do I have to get to treat him?
Yeah, you just did treat him.
Oh, right. Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry.
What is a minimum, you mean?
10 days. 10 days.
10 days, yeah. So a week and a half. That's all right. Well, the trunk wound.
Oh,
You did
I got
actually
thumped in
get
the
shot.
chest with Dragonov, and I'm still talking. So I consider 10 days of to Advil every 4 hours a small price to pay.
So if my character's out for 10
Stu
weeks, am I
actually
playing Stu?
And Stu actually has a minor wound on his arm and on his head. But when you come near him, he shouts profanities at you until you go away.
Okay, man. Just calm down. Okay, fine. I mean, here I'll hand him a roll of bandages. If you want to do it yourself, just there you go. You have at it, man.
On the bright side, we confirmed they're smuggling stuff through the border.
Yeah.
All right.
Bullets
Excuse me
directly
for
at
5
us.
minutes. Excuse me for 5 minutes, guys, and you guys can debrief.
Wow, that was an intense
Wow.
firefight. I was
Yeah. Things went sideways really fast. Golly, I wonder if they knew we were coming.
Yeah.
right.
Debrief. I
I
got
haven't-
shot. That's all I remember.
I'm sorry. I haven't seen a setup like that since Lee Harvey Oswald bumped into Jack Ruby in the Dallas Police HQ parking garage.
Yeah. That's
So
You guys don't think the chief of police could have ratted us out, do you?
I don't think so.
you know what? We
And
were
he
there
just
for we were there for 3 hours. I'm sure the border guards got on like some radio and said, "Hey, there's some Americans here."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as far as I remember,
Let's
we
throw
rolled
out
up,
the
asked
fact.
a couple of questions, and then basically these other guys showed up very soon after, right?
Yeah.
Or were we there for 3 hours? Is that really
Well,
what
they
it
said
was?
he was the guy was going to be there in 3 hours.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, that's
Did we
yeah.
forget about the MPs at the hangar that had the burner phone?
They had nothing to do with this.
I did
No.
call them cranny eaters.
I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on here, obviously. So
Well, I mean, I
Yeah.
think she's getting to the point that if they can
We'll
get to
just
one
have
of
to
those
plan
guys,
ahead.
they could probably get to somebody else.
right. Well, at least plant material on them,
Yeah.
which is what I absolutely think that was a plant.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe,
there's a lot of
polish your boots.
corruption.
Tap what, shove,
Mhm.
kind of thing. I don't think a U.S. Marine was out there working close hand in glove with the Russians, the Chechens, and the local bad guys, the SRF.
But they
But
might have
we-
been tapping a local, and the local
did-
shared that. So
We did get set up. We did get set up.
Well, you were told that the border guards were
On the
in
take.
the pocket of the insurgents.
That's
Right.
Not anymore, they're not.
I
Thank
mean,
you,
Well, that's
Stu.
two of them. There was two of them. You think there's
old
another four
wars,
inside
loose lips.
If we're gonna do that again, I'm going to have to insist on air cover.
Yeah, you do. You believe there was another 4 or so inside the barracks building.
Holy crap, Stu! Oh, dude! Whoa! There was 4
He
guys
says
in there,
what?
and you just beat them to death. My God!
What? No, I didn't touch the guys inside the barracks building.
Uh,
It was just the guys in the 2 guys in the guard hut. He said,
Oh, oh!
Even he said, I've been knocked in the head a lot, and even I figured it out. We came up and we spoke to them, and then they went radio, and they went straight and got on the phone, and then all of a sudden drones and snipers appear.
Well, leave it to Stu to be
So they were obviously
smartest one in the group there.
informing.
Wow.
They were, so they were
Yeah.
forward observers basically. So
Yeah.
I dealt with them.
And we were a little too forward.
So they were paid off.
Yeah,
All right.
and he pulls out a wad of local Frankistani dinars and with a lot of blood on them, and he slams it down on the table, and that was their payoff. That's more than the border guards pay, he says. You guys have got no idea what the border guards are paid, but it does look like a lot of cash.
Well, if you guys will
Well,
pardon me,
I think we should. Yeah. That was blood money on us, so we should spend it.
I reach in my wallet and take out a $5 bill and say, "This is twice that. Knock yourself out."
You're not spending anything for 10 weeks.
Yeah. Except spending
I
time
want a
reading.
nice room.
George
I'm just
books
saying, a
over-
nice room.
Use your.
Technically, she can act that she has a -4 to her movement, right? And a normal movement is, well, your normal movement is 4. Does she have? No, she doesn't have strength or sprinting or anything like that. So basically, she can just shuffle along with a cane, and she has -4 to all actions. So she can still do things, but at -4. So if you want her to
Well, the
be,
fact that I've
staggering-
got tech in that, I am your background tech resource here.
Yeah,
guy.
but she's sitting there with like these massive bandages on her head, like they had to remove a part of her scalp to deal with the edema on the brain and stuff. So she's got all these stitches and everything, and they're replacing part of the scalp with a titanium plate. The proper hospital, not the prisoner hospital. And so she's going around on a cane like that. That's why it's going to be 10 weeks before she's out of hospital, and even then, it's just going to be down to a minor wound. We'll get to see the other week or 2.
So if I get
she
hit
can't.
in the head again,
She'll be at -4. She'll be at -4 to whatever she does. So she'll go now. Like, if you had somebody recovering from a head injury like that, would you give them explosives to play with?
Sumawata's not leaving the hospital for the next 10 weeks. But don't worry about getting hit in the head unless you mouth off to a nurse and they hit you with a bedpan. You're not, run, Stu.
yeah, but I can do text for you. I can do text in the back.
She wants to play support.
Communicate.
She wants to be our eyes and ears from the talk, so to speak.
The guy in the chair.
You
be the guy in the chair.
You are not
I'll
leaving
be the guy
hospital.
in the chair in the van in the back.
No.
The van in the back.
No. You're not leaving the hospital.
The doctor tells you, like, if you were one of the Marines here, we would have sent you to Germany for treatment in the hospital there.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be. That'd be the end of your tour. But because you're PMCs, it's up to you whether you stay or not.
Unfortunately, our company healthcare package is not quite that good.
No, they don't send you to the military hospital.
Wait, did you sign up for the PSP? Because that's a joke. You got to do the PPO.
Yeah, seriously.
Do the PPO. It's 3.71% out of every month's pay, but I mean the coverage is way better. I think the new sign-up period is right after January. So
I'm sure I would have taken it. So I'm going to have a really nice retirement plan when I finally decide to do it, because I'm going to collect early. But still,
you very nearly collected your retirement
very early.
How did this game go from conflict to HR? Real quick.
Have you ever
Wait,
dealt
wait.
with HR? That is conflict.
It's
Bonus.
this time of year. That's the only reason we're discussing this.
Alrighty, and by the way, some water. When you come back, your health will have declined from 2 to 1.
Bug.
Because you're
Bugger.
essentially 3 months in hospital, so you'll have lost a lot of condition, a lot of muscle, and
Can I rebuild? Can I buff up and work out?
it takes
To
time
offset that?
When people do a term in the military, 4 years, they get a bonus of 1 to the health. So you can, but it takes time.
I mean, I'm doing physical therapy. I'm doing it.
Or if
I'm listening to it and doing the shit
and
they
also
send you home with.
If you get a familiarity. Oh no, it doesn't apply. It's only when your health 0. If your health 0 and you get like a strength or an endurance familiarity, it boosts it up to 1. But if it's already 1, it doesn't boost it anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll take time.
I look at her I look at her half-shaven head after she's had the surgery. I go, "You look like Tank Girl."
No, I'm not going to half shave it. I'm going to go complete. I mean, Irish girl here.
Full-on Alien 3 G.I. Jane haircut. There you go.
Damn
All right,
straight. And the
I'm
worry,
sure we're
fact
going to
that I
speak
have
to
a
of this.
plate now in my head. If I get a headshot, can that plate deflect it? I want to know.
It's such a
If
gamer,
somebody-
Sappy. Don't worry, we'll give you another character to play next week.
I can't wait to see all the clips of this just plastered all over Bill's Discord channel. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of these clips floating around.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
this is great.
I want a bonus on headshots. I really do.
That HR joke, Jason, was gold, pure gold.
Dude, I've told him I've been fighting with like disability people for a while now. So yeah, I'm just kind of fed up.
Well, that was great.
That was great. We all got shot.
We learned a lot. That's for
We
sure.
learned a lot.
Nobody died. We came close. Apparently,
order-
some more than others, but
Yes.
You're welcome.
The Order of the Purple Target. Everybody is a member now.
Yep.
Okay, so your commander Lang calls you in and says, "What did you learn? What did you do well? What can you do better?"
Not telegraph our intentions to the enemy, for one thing.
Yes, that's always good. Yeah.
The border guards were absolutely positively in on the take. They're the ones that called in the drones. And as far as learning stuff, now look, I know you can order a drone off of Wish. That's no great big shocker, but these SRF guys were really incredibly well coordinated, all things considered. They might not have had the best gear, but it was damn near peer. Sir.
Say, Brown, do you think these guys were...
don't get shot in the head.
You know the guy that you were talking to that we brought in from the last mission? Do you think these guys are Chechen too? That we fought?
I didn't get close enough to talk to them about it, but there's a strong possibility.
Right. That's just my assumption. I don't think these guys were the insurgents. I think these were just the Chechens.
Yeah, that your Chechen guy says, yeah, there are squads, but usually the Chechens are kind of put in as the salt on the meal, so to speak.
Okay.
They're put in to be the scouts and to be the leaders of units, or the sergeants or whatever, to salt the meal. Because there's not enough of them to be the whole thing.
Sure.
The Russians have got something else going on that they need Chechens for too. So,
well, we definitely know that they're involved.
Yes.
Probably training them. We're trying to.
Yes. Because they obviously want to kick the insurgency up a notch. Because it's been going on for well over 10 years. It's just been low-level stuff. And from from talking to Shah and from their own history and that. Initially, it was just traditional guerrillas and terrorists and everything running around blowing stuff up, and then they kept getting rounded up and then imprisoned or killed. So they started, after a while, they started evolving their tactics and like no longer using mobile phones and radios and so on. They're just using verbal messages and messenger guys on motorcycles and that kind of thing, and having more isolated cells that worked independently, so that if you did round up one cell, you wouldn't get other cells. So they started to in the last year or two, they've started to act a lot more professionally and well organized. And now they're starting to get the better gear. So you're starting to notice that when they do get captured, instead of having the rusty old AK, it's actually been oiled and cleaned.
Oh, wow.
Lucky us.
I learned that a medic sniper spotter combo is probably not the best thing to run in the middle of the mountain. I probably should have foreseen that.
Yeah, sometimes multi-class is not the best way to go.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, well, Lang's feedback is, when you describe what happened, is you just need to coordinate better.
Mm-hmm.
One guy be the shooter, one guy be the spotter, one guy be the medic, one guy be in charge. One guy makes sure that the Dust Capital police or whatever the support group comes in and actually helps you out.
Mm-hmm.
So you just need to, because you had all these forces available to you, but you didn't bring them to bear.
Right.
And also to just proceed cautiously, because you knew that the customs guys were probably on the take. So you could have been talking to them the whole time instead of just sitting around waiting. You could have been talking to them, whether talking to them by handing over cash or talking to them by handing over beatings, whichever you prefer, or just talking to them. Yeah. So it's just like a D&D party. You fighter, magic user, cleric, thief, right? The fighter, machine gunner, or the sniper. The cleric is the medic. The magic user is the radio guy, either the sniper or the radio guy who can call in an airstrike, fireball. And the thief is the scout guy who goes out and scout, and then that can be team. It's exactly the same as D&D.
So I'm guessing Stu would be the barbarian.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, they got there's John the Revelator. Well, now we got Stu the Interrogator.
Yeah.
Well, no, because the people that he spoke to didn't say anything, because he just shouted profanity at them while he was beating them to death.
Okay, maybe that's a little
get
off.
information from them. He didn't get information from them.
So out of
be
character,
fair.
am I playing Stu next week?
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. Where are we?
Are we advancing the timeline?
There was
timeline
another-
will advance 1 week.
Yeah, there's another character that's in the opening credits that I've yet to see.
Yeah, Roxanne McKee.
Yep.
I was going to bring her in.
What's her specialty?
Oh, well, you'll see.
Okay.
Not putting on the red lace, I assume.
There's new people arriving all the time at your little TMCHQ.
You don't have to put on the red light?
Yeah.
Well, we had to put on the red light for
Ironically,
you.
by the police.
I still
So,
think for how much we've played together, I think all things taken into account, we did pretty well with a pretty hard situation at the end there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the end, if they're set up waiting for you, then you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I've said before, really, there's only 3 kinds of combat situations. They ambush you, which you ambush them, or a stand-up fight. If they ambush you, all of you die, and all of them live. If you ambush them, all of them die, and all of you live. And if it's a stand-up fight, then everyone dies. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So tactics is really about trying to make everything into an ambush.
Yeah.
I just love that positive outlook you have. That's great. Everyone dies.
So cheery.
So
You know, it's actually
joyous.
not for me.
There's
It's
kind of extremes on each end.
He's got so much sugar in that lemonade of his.
it does.
Well, I didn't come up with that myself. That was a game master I had, Tony Dooley, who ran us when we were playing Recon, and he was pretty savage with it. Like we had one guy, what's the player's name, Baden, and Baden had a series of Mexican grenadiers. There was the Nacho family, and the Nacho family, you know, forget about Mrs. Ryan. The Nacho family gave so many of its good sons to the war. Your characters are fighting in Vietnam, and
Keyword series. Just saying.
yes, his record, I've never seen it surpassed in any role-playing game since, was 18 characters in one game session.
Oh my god.
That was a
some
long
busy
session.
parents if they're all coming from the same family.
Well,
Probably
you know, there were
Catholic.
cousins and nephews and things like that, you know.
Well,
He's like,
I mean,
he's like, they're Catholic, they have 8 kids each.
yeah, it's like that's what I was thinking. They have to be Catholic.
So there was,
Even then, if you're having like triplets, how many years is that poor lady?
Well, there's cousins
Tony's-
and nephews, and
Tony's thing was, if you could see the enemy and shoot at them, they can see you and shoot at you. So, you know, the squad would be like walking through a rice paddy or something, and they come under fire, and all the rest of us would drop below the rice paddy dikes and that, and the fire would start dying down. And Baden would say, I get up and I run at the enemy, firing from the hip with my 40mm grenade launcher. And so, like 30 enemy had fired at us.
I take it
and
he
we all
hasn't
dropped
seen
down.
the movie Private Ryan.
And so then, well, it hadn't come out then. And so then 30 guys all fired at Baden. So, with the results you can expect.
And this was the end of the 13th brother jalapeno nacho.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
And it was
Wow.
always like that. It was absolutely zero caution.
Hey, Vaughn, thanks for the super. Thank you so much. Always appreciate it.
So, yeah.
okay, great.
So I got that phrase from Tony. He was pretty savage and ruthless with it. But that was a savage system as well. Your character had, I think, strength, intelligence, and willpower or something. And your strength was how many kilograms you could carry. But it was also your hit points. So as you took damage, you were like, take off the pack, and then take off the webbing, and then toss aside the rifle and pull out the pistol until you had like 2 strength, and you're crawling along on the muddy ground with just a pistol in your hands, bleeding from a dozen wounds.
Dang.
It was pretty savage.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. You mentioned the blowing through a whole lot of ammo and the Nacho family. I had a friend in college, and this was back before Dirt. I mean, this is like 1989. But he was in the ROTC program at the college. He was going in the Army, and he was telling me about how they had gone out with a National Guard unit. Basically, you guys can come along out on an exercise with us. And their ROTC unit got lit up by an ambush and got cut apart with M60 fire. And it was all Miles gear. And when you were training, Kyle, did you guys use Miles at all?
Yeah.
On
rare occasions, it wasn't common, but
yeah, laser tag stuff. So they get ambushed. Now, this is all third-hand information or second-hand information. This may or may not have happened, but it's damn funny. So they get ambushed, they get lit up, and what was his? Was it Craig? I feel like the guy's name was Craig. We're talking about well over 30 years ago. said, so, it seemed like it lasted forever, but it was probably, like a 10-second pull of the trigger with some pauses in between of this M60, and everybody's Miles gear is screaming bloody murder. And when things finally stop, one of the guys in the ROTC class yells out, "Missed me!" And of course they didn't, as his Miles gear was beeping too. Everybody had been wiped out. It was a TPK, as it were. But
Yeah.
this guy in the class, he was like, "Missed me!" So, hey,
So I just calculated the dates.
You always need a little snark.
Okay, so Lauren Brown and Stu Bennett will recover from their wounds by the 10th of December. Okay, because the game is set present day. Today is like oh no, you get another 7 days because we ended on a cliffhanger last time.
Yeah. When is Sumo Rwanda back?
Yeah,
March.
I'm getting to that.
It's gonna be a while.
So Brown and Bennett will be better on the 3rd of December. So they'll be fine. Sumawada is going to be better on the 20th of February next year.
Wow.
Dear. I guess I'm not playing Sumawada again because we only go, what, six weeks?
Unless there's a second season, then yeah. Hey, but she's
Marker
alive.
is retired.
Happy Valentine's Day there,
Retired.
Seth.
Right, yeah. I'll send flowers
From-
and chocolate.
Yeah,
Active.
we'll bring chocolate and flowers to the hospital room.
Send me
Here
my
you
next
go.
character.
Yep. Well, it's a mortal wound.
Damn it, I liked her. She was a badass. Blowing shit up and kicking people's faces in.
Well, now you can be a badass learning how to eat with a spoon again.
Just make sure that you change your
I'm gonna
bags.
file the edges so they're sharp. I mean,
Oh, God.
I feel sorry for the hospital staff.
She's the feisty grandma in the nursing home on this one, huh?
She made a directional mine out of mashed potatoes and peas.
So,
damn straight I did.
She pulled out her IV needle and she's stabbing people with it.
yeah. So we could probably assume.
I mean,
that
you
she
give me
uses
salt and
her-
pepper and all bets are off.
We could probably assume that she uses her insurance coverage to go back to the hospital in the States or elsewhere, wherever she likes. But yeah, she can return in the next season if there is one, whether it be in the first term of next year or in later terms. For those who don't know, I tend to run the games during the school terms here in Australia, and the school terms are like about 10 weeks with about 2 weeks off between, and there's 4 terms in the year because during school holidays I obviously can't do it, and plus a lot of people are away anyway, Christmas, New Year, and that's the time. So yeah, that's when I tend to run them. And it was a habit I got into years ago when I had open game table at the friendly local game store. Just found, because most campaigns only last like 6 to 12 sessions anyway. There are not many really long-lived ones like Bill runs. They just last a little bit. So I thought, and I found I got people to stick around for the whole 10 or 12 sessions if they knew it was only going to be 10 or 12 sessions. Whereas otherwise, if it was 4, they might go, this could be going for years. I don't know about this. And they stuck with it and they enjoyed it. And then after that term, if people are loving the game, you can continue playing it. And if people want to do something different, or if someone else wants to run a game, then there's that opportunity for them to step up and do so. So
Now,
it makes a neat little story kind of thing.
I will mention, for our viewers' sake and for our fellow players' sakes, back half of December. Streaming is probably not going to be a thing because with the holidays coming up and all. Just letting you guys know that in advance. And it may not even be that bad because Christmas falls on a Monday this year here in the States. We'll see who's up for Wednesday following. I guess that's up to my fellow Americans, Jason, Safi, and Bill. If you guys are game for
I'm here.
2 days
I'm
after
here. I'm on vacation. So yeah, I'm here.
I'm good. Yeah.
We can do that, Bill.
Yeah, that is a
Mutilation.
question that I'll get back on you.
Granny Wick says I'd watch that. Haven't seen John Wick. Hyperbolic noises. If you want Granny Wick, there's a movie on Netflix called Lou, and it's this 60-year-old woman who turns out to have been CIA Special Forces or whatever they call themselves, the Special Action Group or something. And
Score woman.
She's like a 60-year-old woman who's running around doing awful things, and she does a little bit of trickery as well. It's like,
I mean,
I'm just a weak old lady, and they go, oh yes, and then with the knife.
Nice.
Some of the audience won't
Work that baby.
I'm rather fond of Helen Mirren in general. I thought she was wonderful in Red alongside Bruce Willis and many others. But yeah, she was awesome in that. There's another operator granny, if you will. Although I would not call Helen Mirren a granny, I would get in so much trouble for that. But RPG grandma, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
there's
there's
older actresses that kick butt.
Yep.
I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis, Sigourney Weaver, really?
Yeah.
I mean, look at the physical shape they had at the age they were when they did massively physical roles.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Yeah. Through Bill's account, I just posted a link to the movie Lou. It's quite a good movie. Quite fun. Anyway, that's that.
Alrighty, well, I would
So
like
you'll
to
have
say
to send me who I'm going to play.
Yeah, a new one. Yeah.
I would like to say thank you to all of our folks who played tonight. Thank you, Bill, Jason,
Yes, thank you.
Safi. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to our audience of awesome viewers out there. Thank you all very much. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment for engagement down below. Tell us what you liked about it, and we'll do more of that. I'd like to thank Vaughn for the super. Thank you very much, Vaughn. Always appreciated. Helps keep the lights on around here, quite literally. I will be back tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is Thursday. I have nothing special in store unless you consider a deep dive into the internals of First Edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Special, and you should, because it's awesome. So join us tomorrow night. And then Friday night, speaking of Vaughn, Friday night, what Vaughn has been waiting for, Sapphire will be here for. Because
I will.
we will be returning to the radioactive wastes of Gamma World. That's right. The big throwdown showdown against the Eye Beast. So be here for that and find out exactly what can a beholder do in a science fiction setting. I think it's going to go a little something like TPK, but I could be wrong. Who knows? So until then, guys, be good to each other. Be kind. Go easy as we're going into the holidays, and I will see you all tomorrow night. Be well. Peace. Regardless of what you do, though, keep your eyes peeled for the owl bears. Good night.
Have you seen my owl
Be
bear?
safe, everyone.
Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around, some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the